I'm Kat,
I'm Christina.
I'm Jen.
and welcome to an all new episode of the Hometown Haunts podcast. We are three creatives who love ghost stories as much as you do. Here we share stories from around the world sent in by our listeners. You can find us at the Hometown Haunts community on Facebook, Instagram at Hometown Haunts _podcast, or on Blue Sky at hometownhaunts.bsky.social. Hi, everyone, and welcome
Hey.
to another week. Yay!
Yay!
All of us are
Hurrah.
boiling.
Yes, that's true.
Yes.
Well, we're
All of
in the
us are
comfort of
boiling.
our basement at all times.
Yeah. My air conditioner decided to stop
Oh
working
no!
right
Did
at
it
the
really?
beginning of the heat wave.
Oh my
no!
God.
So $600 later and some Freon added later, it's finally
Oh,
working.
I mean, isn't that like a new air conditioner?
Yeah, I think at first he thought there might be a leak, but I think maybe they just didn't, when they built the place, they didn't fill it up completely with Freon.
oh,
Because so far I haven't had any problems
okay,
in 2 weeks. So,
okay.
That's frustrating.
yeah.
That's good.
How hot is it in Seattle? Because you
Yeah.
don't usually think of Seattle as being hot, but
It was 90 yesterday, and
Oh.
today it was 87.
Oh, wow.
And a lot of the older homes, like the one that I live in, are not made for that kind of heat. And we traditionally don't have AC. We didn't have it last year. And over the winter, we invested in a heat pump. And that has been saving our tuchuses the past few days. This is day 3 of over 80 heat. And this room is in the basement and is always 65 degrees. So if you
Nice.
hear things going on outside, it's because I have the window open to get some more heat in here because it's like a refrigerator. And I was just not prepared for that. For our listeners, I'm wearing a tank top, so I needed some heat in here. But yeah, it's everything is just melting here. It's yesterday I had the opportunity to go uh, inner tubing down the Snoqualmie River.
Ooh,
nice.
That was fun.
Yeah.
I went
That
with a
sounds
few
great.
friends, and I had never gone river inner tubing before.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah,
it's so fun.
yeah,
Neither have I.
yeah. It's growing up, you did not go river inner tubing in anything in Indiana because it was just full of like the runoff from the farmland.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then in Ohio, you don't do it on the Ohio River. You'll come out with
Yeah.
extra limbs. Like,
Little Miami River.
yeah, the Little Miami. But so this was the first time doing it in an actual river, and it was a lot of fun. It took about 5 hours to go down.
Nice.
So, that was great. Got a little
Yeah.
burnt,
Yeah.
but it
That's always a
happened.
risk when you do that kind of thing, but it is really fun.
It was
I haven't
really
done
fun.
it in a really long time, but I really enjoyed it when I did.
I think it
Yeah.
was more fun than sitting on a catamaran in a lake.
Mhm.
Like that's what we would do growing up is just sit on like a boat in the lake or a canoe.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Or if your friends were real well off, you got a catamaran.
Yeah. My dad was a big canoe float trip person, river
Mhm.
rat, and he took my sister once when we were kids, and then he was going to take me, but I was terrified of boats at the time. So I never got to go because, then I grew up and he passed away. But
Mhm.
I still don't think I'd do it. I'd rather have a lazy river with chlorine
Ah.
because there's creepy crawlies in the natural stuff, and I just don't, want to get some weird bug.
I will say like the river was really clean.
Okay.
Mhm.
Cuz
So maybe
yeah,
it
I
depends on
get
the
it.
river.
I'm really leery of leeches.
Mm.
And but no, this one was really clean. I did not see many big fish swim around us either. They kind of I think knew not to be in that area.
Well,
We did see ducks though.
you get
Ooh,
clear
neat.
fresh water from the mountains though
Mhm.
too, right?
These are
Yeah,
yeah,
get
these are
out.
all mountaintop.
Yeah.
This was the second week it was open because it's too cold otherwise.
Yeah. Awesome.
So this was all the not glacial, but all the snow water coming
Yeah.
down from the mountains, and this was under below Snoqualmie Falls. So
Mhm.
Oh, neat.
yeah, it was a lot of fun. Definitely would do again. And little dude is still too young to do it, though. I
Yeah.
think he'd be bored out of his mind after
I
like
mean, it
20
was just
minutes.
tubing's the best because you just kind of are lying in the water and you talk and usually have a cooler in one of the
Mhm.
things for your beverages.
Yeah, we had a
That's really,
floating cooler. That was
yeah, and
new. I'd
that's really
never
fun.
seen one of those before.
Yeah,
Do
those are great. And it was funny because we used to canoe in Girl Scouts all the time, and we used to have a what you
yeah.
call, which ironically now the camp that I went to is next to where Fernald is. So
Oh. Oh.
I'm surprised Blinky wasn't in this lake, but they would throw our breakfast into the lake and you were supposed to canoe to pick it up. So they'd throw like oranges and boxes of cereal and stuff, and we'd have to, I mean, this is the 70s. I mean, what are you gonna do?
When
And
did Fernald happen?
um when did Fernald happen? Was it the 80s? Let me do a quick search on
Okay.
that. But the Camp Ross is very close to Fernald, and that's the Girl
What
Scout
what
resident
is
camp I used to go to
Fernald?
every year.
Oh,
Huh?
it was
Yeah, it
nuclear.
was a breeder reactor in
Yeah.
Ohio that they've been cleaning up. Well, they were cleaning up for years.
Mhm. It's a
Um,
park now.
yeah, but and maybe Blinker, maybe Blinky wasn't in the
It
lake.
was full of radiation, like
Yeah,
waste, I
it was
think,
bad. Yeah.
and it took them until the early. I want to say I was working at the Enquirer at the time, early
Yeah.
late 2000 for it to be cleaned up, and then I turned it into a park. And
But Camp Ross was close to it,
yeah,
where
I
I
have
went to Girl
pictures of
Scout
it.
camp.
I can send them to you.
Wow.
Yeah, it was really nice.
Let me see, because what comes up is Fernald history and Fernald. Um, let's see. So Fernald Feed Materials Production Center, known as Fernald Preserve, is a former nuclear production facility near Cincinnati, Ohio. It was a
Mhm.
uranium processing plant that played a key role in the U.S. nuclear weapons program. After ceasing production in 1989, the site underwent extensive environmental remediation and is now a nature preserve.
Mhm.
So it was still an operation when I went to Girl Scout camp close to there.
Oh man, you're lucky.
Wow.
You're. I think
Well,
they buried
hopefully
it
everything was
basically.
okay. Yeah, I think so. There was somebody I knew that worked there, but it was
Mhm.
quite a scandal, I thought, when I
It
don't
was.
remember all the details, because I think, like many things from the 50s, wasn't it not known that it was? I mean, they say so casually in this Google thing, oh, it was a, uranium processing plant, but
Yeah.
really,
Well, if
I
they
mean,
had
stuff
been
like that was
responsible,
secret.
there wouldn't have
Yeah.
been anything to clean up.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
stuff like that I think was supposed to be secret too. And
Yeah.
making material for nuclear bombs is not like considered a good thing. I don't know if they actually made like plutonium kind of stuff there, but it was uranium processing.
Oh
Yeah.
my.
Yeah. But it's very pretty now. I
Mm.
went to it, I think,
Oh
right
yeah,
when
did
it
you go for the
opened.
eclipse? No, who was there for the eclipse? Did you go watch the eclipse at Fernald? That
Mm-mm.
was just this year. Oh, okay. I was thinking of another friend. Some friends of mine went. That was supposed to be really good viewing for the eclipse.
Hmm.
I guess the radiation sort of. I don't know if they still have a lot of.
Makes it glow all pretty.
Yeah, everything was glowing.
Everything glows at night. Oh
Yeah,
no.
it seems like something that would be on a Simpsons. This sort of
It does.
Yeah.
breeder reactor for making more heavy fissile materials. Is
Hmm.
that the right
I
word? Yeah, it's like.
the last eclipse I saw was the lunar one this year. I think
Oh,
it
was that
was
the
the
one
blood
that was
moon.
in? Oh yeah, was that the one
Yeah.
in Indiana?
It was here
Oh, okay. Oh,
this
okay.
year. I
Hmm.
stood in my
There's been
driveway
so many
at 2
moons.
o'clock in the morning and took pictures. It
Yeah,
was
that was back
last
in
year.
March.
Yeah. Last year was the full solar
Oh, that's what I
eclipse.
was thinking
Yeah.
about.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that was the big one that I
Yeah.
missed because Seattle didn't get it.
Yeah.
We weren't in the path. Hey, in like 2036, I can go up to like Anchorage and see
Oh,
it,
neat.
see that again.
That'd be
So maybe
cool.
then. Who knows? So show news after You can hear me, right?
Yeah.
We can hear
Okay.
you.
I wasn't sure if I muted.
No,
Anyway, show news. Oh, Kat, how long has it been since you recorded? Um, let's see. I will be doing a live watercolor demonstration on July
Ooh,
12th at the Art Walk at Happy Time Studio in Issaquah, Washington from 5 to 8 p.m. Pacific time. And I will also be teaching adult watercolor classes at Happy Time Studio this fall and how to draw comics classes for kids at the Issaquah Community Center in November and December. So,
Fun.
yeah. So that's what I'm up to.
ooh,
I'm planning a bunch of classes.
that's exciting.
Yeah.
And I also applied for Frogman 2026.
Ooh,
Oh,
So I'll be
excellent.
back in Ohio at least in March.
Hurrah. Well, that'll be
Yeah.
fun. And
Oh, and then there's also the crypt. I have not applied to this. I want to though. It's the Cryptid Weekend that's in Newport.
Oh,
yeah,
Covington?
I
Yeah,
saw something
Covington.
about
Mhm.
that.
Yeah, I'd love to go to that sometime.
Yeah, that sounds really fun.
Yeah.
And let's see what else. Oh, and I will be in Washington in a couple weeks at Sketcherfest. I don't know if they
Mhm.
still have any tickets available or not, but it should be really fun. It's in Edmonds, Washington, and I'm going to be doing a lecture, which Kat said she's going to be at. And then I'm also
Mhm.
teaching a workshop, which should be really fun. Kind of storytelling in urban sketching, which has really become a big part of urban sketching beyond
Mhm.
just drawing, pretty pictures, actually telling the story about what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm.
and actually they just did the regional grants for urban sketchers, and like one of the ones that won was they were talking about areas that were changing and sketching them before they change, like how they
Mhm.
raise old buildings and
Mm-hmm.
build new ones and how neighborhoods change and stuff like that. And that's a great thing to document through sketching
Mhm.
and stuff. So I'll be at Sketcherfest. I'm leaving the 17th, and then obviously I'm going to be in Poland and at the symposium. So if anyone that listens to this is going to also be at the symposium, I will be in Poland I'm leaving the 13th of August for that and coming back the 26th, I think. And then of course Romania, we still can take people to Romania, and we're leaving September 17th and coming back October 1st. So it's going to be a crazy summer.
That's a lot of travel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know it's going to be. And and also my Romania travelogue just went to the printer. So I have a special
Yay.
Yay.
preview edition that's going to be it's going to be premiering at Sketcherfest. And I'm just doing the preview edition because I always catch typos. So the real edition that will go on sale will be after the preview edition, because there's
Right.
always somebody that says, "Oh, well, did you know that this?" That seems like one thing that I did change between the first travelogue and the second one is I was like, why did I make that font size so small? So it ended up
Oh.
being more pages than the first one, even though it was over less time because I decided to make the type significantly larger. Not
Christina, do
quite.
you want me to just do a quick read through for it,
Oh,
or
sure, if you'd like to. I can
sure,
send you a link.
just to catch any typos or anything?
Sure. I mean, they're there lurking. And
They
then
always
even
are.
worse.
Me too. I don't catch my own mistakes at all.
Well, even worse, the font I used, like for certain words, and I don't know what the official name is of the little dangly things that go on some C's and some T's. I
Oh,
had to like
yeah.
manually add all of those,
Oh no.
and paste them into the InDesign file so that they would be spelled correctly, but this
Yeah.
particular font didn't have those letters. So that's fun.
Yeah. That doesn't take time at all.
No, and I think you're muted, Kat.
Oops.
Yeah.
Me and this microphone tonight. Jeez.
It's like,
I'm being accosted by Clover. So
uh-oh.
Just
So
give
you're
Clover love.
so we're having a wild cat night, it looks
I
yeah.
like.
guess so. Yeah.
She's missed me too.
Aw.
Since I just spent 2 weeks at my sister's house sitting while they were in Japan and South Korea.
How did they like it?
They loved it. They had a lot of fun. Um, Fred, being the world traveler that he is, since he's a pilot, he is very used to just doing things on his own. And they went with a travel group.
Oh.
Everything was pre-planned. So I think some of the things they didn't like so much because they didn't have time to like go off on their own and really explore.
Right. Yeah.
Um,
Mhm.
but they got me a lot of cat goodies.
Oh,
No.
Uh, and you know, I would come by my place every day to feed the cats, but you know, now that I've been home for 2 days, they have been very affectionate.
Yeah.
they're like, "Where were you?
Yeah.
How
How
dare you
dare you?"
leave me?
You better not leave again.
Yeah, they hate
Well,
that.
I'll try not to.
Mhm. All right. Shall we
Well,
get into
segue.
tonight's show?
Yes.
All right. So tonight's show is haunted portraits, which I had the idea because I wrote about one about 15 years ago for my first book. So, and which we'll be talking about tonight. So the book that I wrote was Haunted Hoosier Halls, Indiana University, and it is published by Schiffer Publishing. Don't go out and get it. The illustrations are horrific. I'm very embarrassed by them. The ones
Oh,
my mom did are fantastic, but mine are embarrassing. So
aw.
it's also my first book, so it's kind of clunky writing, but like those clunky freshman writing, like legend has it that oh boy, this is big time. But it still the stories are really interesting. And is that Clover?
Yes, she has something to say.
Oh.
Thank you, Clover.
She's gonna rub against the microphone.
So I found a collection of haunted portraits, and believe it or not, this is not even the full collection of haunted portraits. There are so many we can do a part 2 and 3
Oh,
of
cool.
just haunted things, but I thought these were particularly ghosts are associated with every one of them.
It
Um
what I was going to say before we started recording that it is a very well-known trope for like TV shows and movies and
mhm.
like a haunted mirror stuff too,
Yeah.
which
It's
is
kind of like Portrait of Dorian Gray-ish feeling
yes,
sometimes.
yes.
But this almost feels, and we can actually, let's get into it. Then we can maybe shed some thoughts about it later.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I have
So
some thoughts, but oh no, I'm not trying to say. I was just
Are
no,
you
saying,
shaming me, Christina?
I am not. I am not. I was just saying. There's something I wanted to say about it, and I was like, you know what? I want to hear. I want to hear the stories first, and then
Okay.
we'll
yeah,
Okay.
it's what's really
speculate.
interesting with these stories is that they're all well, the first two are old stories. Like we're looking at colonial timing when these happened and they've persisted through to today. And then the other two that I have are more modern. So it's kind of something that is always happening and evolving, I guess. So the first story we have is the portrait of Bernardo de Galvez, which is the namesake of Galveston, Texas. So Viscount Bernardo de Galvez y Madrid was the first Viscount of Galveston, a special military, no, Spanish military officer and colonial administrator who played a pivotal role in shaping the Gulf Coast colonial history. Named after Galvez, the Hotel Grand Galvez on Galveston Island, off the coast of Texas for our international listeners, has played home to a haunted painting of the namesake since its opening in 1911. Many strange and spooky things have reportedly occurred at the Grand Galvez, but today we're focusing on just this portrait. The restored painting, titled Viceroy Count Bernardo de Galvez, was presented to the hotel as a gift by Anne and Russell Kendall upon its opening in 1911. The portrait, or maybe Galvez himself, does not appreciate photography as it seems. Legend has it that if you take a photo without asking permission first, a skull will appear over his face in your photo. The portrait is located on the second floor landing, facing the main lobby of the hotel, but visitors report feeling cramped and chilled while looking at the painting. Visitors have also reported that Galvez's spirited eyes seem to watch people walk around the hotel. And the photo I attached to it is the actual painting. It has been restored, and I did not include a photo with a flash, but it looks like the way that the canvas is imprinted as well as the oil on it. When you take a flash photo of it, it looks like what would be the eye sockets of a skull appearing over the painting. And it's just an interesting haunted location. It is the first stop on the Grand Galdev's Galvez's haunted hotel tour that they do, kind of like the Stanley Hotel in Estes Park, Colorado.
Mhm.
So there's many TripAdvisor photos of groups of people of various ages and swimsuit attire around this portrait for this tour.
Did they have any pictures where it did do a skull, where it looks skullish?
I
Is that a
forgot to
word?
put it in our chat, and I'm at a different computer that does not have it saved. So I'm sorry, I failed on that one.
Oh, I'll have to do
But
a search.
yeah, it's if you go look at TripAdvisor, there's a lot of for the Galvez. You'll see a lot of photos of the tour. So sorry about that. It's kind of underwhelming when you find them. You're just like, oh, okay. Because some people reported that it would be almost like a skeleton, like almost like uh the Haunted Mansion ride at Disneyland, like that
Mm.
kind of effect. And I'm like, no, it's much more mundane. It's just kind of a gap in the sheen of the oil painting.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I'm not really seeing anything
yeah,
compelling yet.
yeah.
Huh.
But I like the fact that people feel chilled while they go and look at the painting,
Yeah.
and they felt creeped out. The hotel is actually known for many, many, many different hauntings. That of haunted brides that haunt, I think, one of the rooms on the fifth floor. A ghost child that's been seen walking around. It's Galveston, Texas itself is a very haunted city. So I hear. I haven't been there yet, but um, just a really interesting place to visit.
I want
So,
to see a haunted painting.
well, here is our second painting. It is the portrait of Henrietta Nielsen.
She looks very disapproving.
She
Mhm.
does, and she was only 46 years old in this painting.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, you're
I'm
older than she is.
um well,
She's wearing a
almost.
gray wig.
Yeah, she is wearing a
Mhm.
garb. It doesn't also I don't think the portraiter gave her the most flattering portrait one could ever have.
Well, yeah,
But
I'm kind
her
of curious.
dress is money. It is beautiful.
Mhm.
It
So,
is.
hanging in Yaxley Hall in England is the portrait of a woman in a large white brimmed bonnet in a luxurious blue silk taffeta gown crowned with white organza ruffles. It was painted by William Johnson. This is a portrait of then 46-year-old Henrietta Nielsen. Henrietta lived for 36 years before falling to her death down a
Wow.
flight of stairs in her home. So at the age of 82, she fell down the stairs in
Aw.
Yaxley Hall. She
That's
was buried.
plausible.
Yeah. I mean, you trip on one of those skirts and down you go. There's a lot
Yeah.
of phantom women that died falling downstairs. Not phantom.
Oof.
They became phantoms. Anyway, she was buried in a mausoleum on the property per her wishes. And the property, her family was the second family to own that house. So, and then they had it for quite a few more decades. The house and portrait stayed haunt free until the new owners arrived at Yaxley Hall. They tore down her mausoleum, she was the only body buried in it, and moved her body to a nearby family vault in the village church. Being buried in a church, however, did not keep Henrietta away. She haunted the halls of Yaxley and her portrait for centuries after. Even though her portrait did not stay in the hall, it was auctioned off many times and had many different owners.
Hmm.
One of them, however, it sounds like the last owner actually had her apparition walking through his property in
Whoa.
that dress. So he caught her many times haunting his house, and he lived in an old rectory. So
Huh.
eventually, as of 2021, Henrietta's portrait has been returned to Yaxley Hall, but there are no reports yet if the hauntings have ceased.
Yeah, she was mad. She
Yeah,
wanted
she
to
was
be at
mad.
home.
So freaking mad.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
It's just rude.
Well, she's got a little bit of a smirk on her face. She's got like, I mean, it's stern, yet there's like a little bit of a you know,
A little bit
teasing.
of a Mona Lisa smirk.
Yeah, it is. It is a little bit smirky.
Yeah.
Why would you move someone's body though? That's just
It
I don't
it
know.
it's an aggressive
Disrespectful.
move.
Yeah.
It's an aggressive move by her family. It's like, well, we don't want her out. So,
Yeah. I don't think I'd do that. I think it'd be kind of cool to have a mausoleum on my property.
yeah. Yeah. It was a brand new mausoleum. It was built specifically for her. It
Mhm.
only lasted a few years before the new owners took it down and moved her body into the family vault.
Well, no wonder.
No one was happy about that. Like no
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
So, from what I read. So the next set is the paintings of Arshile Gorky. Arshile Gorky is hailed as one of the most powerful and influential abstract expressionist painters of the 20th century. However, his paintings are also known to be cursed. Works have been reportedly haunted by a black-haired ghost wearing a blue overcoat, and they fall from walls, and some of them have caught on fire. And this, by the way that the articles wrote about this, it is different paintings have been visited by the same apparition.
Now
It could
that's
be Gorky.
weird.
Yeah,
That is creepy.
and then some of them have fallen from walls and others have caught on fire. But what really sealed the reputation of these curses occurred on March 1st, 1962, when American Airlines Flight 1 crashed into Jamaica Bay just minutes after takeoff from New York City. The crash killed 87 passengers and 8 crew members, and it had been carrying 15 of Gorky's paintings at the time. All of them were destroyed in the crash.
Whoa.
Oh.
Yeah. And it's kind of sad because those are all gone now. But
Yeah.
he magnificent abstract painter. I was looking through his works and I was just like, wow. He died
Any
really early too. He was about 42 when he died.
Oh no.
So
Any idea why they were cursed?
so what he was really known for was essentially what fueled his artwork was the Armenian genocide. So he was Armenian
Oh.
American.
Mhm.
And he, I think, lived in Rhode Island, if I remember correctly. And what fueled a lot of his paintings was just the trauma that he had living through this genocide and watching the Armenian people be nearly taken off this earth. So I would imagine a lot of emotion that went into those paintings could
Yeah.
have accidentally, if cursed
Oh.
them. I think curse is way too strong of a word, but it's there was a lot of emotion in those paintings, and I think a lot of these paintings there was emotion in them when they were painted, which is probably why they feel imprinted, why people feel strange around them. They have quite traumatic things around them. Are you okay, Jen?
Yeah, I
Yeah, I was trying
unplugged
to figure out what
myself.
I was trying to
Sorry.
figure out what that sound was.
I unplugged my microphone by
Oh,
accident.
you were just so shocked.
Well, it's
Yeah.
just that we were hearing a lot of weird noises. I
So
thought maybe
sorry.
I
And then
thought maybe the
couldn't-
curse was.
Oh no, I didn't
Gorky
unplug the
got us.
microphone. I unplugged my these.
Ah,
Sorry if
It's
it
okay.
sounded funny.
We just thought it was the curse.
yeah.
Well,
I was just like, there
maybe
he
I just
is.
couldn't handle what you were saying there, Kat, and didn't want to hear it.
I mean, the Armenian genocide was pretty bad.
It was.
It was
Yeah.
very bad.
Well,
I think any genocide's bad, but
Yes, yeah. It's never a positive thing.
yeah.
But it's that impression was left in his paintings. He's still
Mhm.
considered one of the best American painters because of we wouldn't have a lot of abstract art that we have today if it wasn't for him doing it,
right.
or kind of the googie type, almost mid-century modern type
Mhm.
abstractness if it wasn't for his work in the 20s through the 40s. So he died, I think, midst World War II here in the United
Aw.
States. So, yeah. So the final painting I have is a creepy little boy.
That is a
And
creepy painting.
This
Yes,
one I
it is.
have met, and this is
It-
really the inspiration for this entire episode today.
Kat, it looks like his leg is coming out of the painting. Do you see it?
It does. Well, because of the little
Is
Yeah,
that
yeah.
the
nameplate.
Yes, the
nameplate?
nameplate,
Okay.
but
But
I
it
see
does
what you
kind of
mean.
look like it's coming out.
He's quite literally breaking the fourth wall.
Mhm.
Um, this is a little mischievous prankster that, let me just say, the staff at the IMU just really love. So, hanging in the tutor room of the Indiana Memorial Union is a small portrait of a young boy holding a jack-o'-lantern that is glowing, and it was painted by O.O. Haig. The Tudor Room is a sit-down restaurant within the Student Union building of Indiana University Bloomington, and it is decorated to fit a medieval castle. It has large vaulted ceilings that are decorated with many 15th century tapestries from Europe and banners that represent academics at the campus. Staff of the Tudor Room, however, will tell tales of Jacob, the little boy seated at the portrait who likes to wreak havoc on the room at night. Legend has it that Jacob died in a fire shortly after this painting was completed, and since then his spirit has haunted the Tudor Room. Jacob is a bit of a prankster and has been reported to move tables and chairs around the room late at night after the final staff member has checked out for the evening. He has been known to disturb table settings, knock floral arrangements to the ground, and manhandle the tablecloths. These activities hit their peak over 20 years ago when the 15th century tapestries displayed in the restaurant were removed to be restored. When they
Hmm.
were brought back, the activity died down a lot.
Hmm.
But this is one of the oldest ghost stories for the Indiana Memorial Union. The Union was built in the 1950s, and the ghosts seem to start haunting the place in the 80s. So I know it was an old ghost story when I went there.
Yeah.
Did you feel anything when you were in the room?
Not really, other than hungry. I know it's a terrible joke, but it was known as the restaurant that had the best food. It was built with the hotel that's in the Memorial Union, and it always had the best food. But nowadays, it looks like students can go in and get a buffet during the weekdays. I
Mhm.
don't remember that being a thing when I was a student there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That was a place where the faculty would eat, where your parents would take you to dine you on the campus, and where there was a lot of wedding receptions there. And if you
Hmm.
look at the Tudor Room, it is a very it's a the entire all the original buildings on Indiana University's campus are very gothic in architecture. So having a medieval looking, almost medieval times esque feel to this big room makes a lot of sense. It feels like you are walking through castles in some of the older buildings at IU.
Oh yeah, it's pretty.
It has
But
large
Cool.
stained glass
you didn't
windows.
sense any of the presences that people had talked
Oh,
about in
I've
the past.
witnessed a ghost walking through the Indiana Memorial Union. It
Oh,
just
okay.
wasn't in that room. The ghost that I witnessed was one of our old presidents of the university,
Oh.
and he was so. Oh, this is going to take a little bit of backstory, and I need to quickly Google the man's name because I forgot what it was. I remember what he looks like though.
Is
Um,
the painting still hanging up
it
in there?
is.
Hmm.
Um,
All I see is the tapestries and the pictures.
there it is. Yeah. Yeah, so the banners were made for the university and they depict the different schools that are on the university's campus, but the tapestries are from Europe.
Hmm.
And Indiana University has a very strong folklore and ethnomusicology department.
Hmm.
Um, it's also known to be haunted by one of our former professors.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, have I never talked about Richard Dorson?
Don't think
Mm,
so.
In
uh,
5 years, I've never talked about Richard Dorson. Okay.
You might
Um,
have. I'm
Yeah,
old.
I can't
it's not
imagine.
ringing a bell.
He was one of our first he was in 1955, he established um the major for folklore and ethnomusicology and was one of the first professors that did talk about folklore and urban legends. And folklorist, and we've talked about him before. Um sorry, I had to look up the Jan Harold Brunvand, or Jan Harold Brunvand. He is a famous folklorist who basically came up with Too Good to Be True, the Colossal Book of Urban Legends,
Uh-huh.
or oh man, there's so many books. Nothing Gets in the Good Nothing. He does so many stories. Um, at any rate, he's one of the premier professors that's still living of folklore, and he studied under Richard Dorson. And Richard Dorson, he taught at the university up until his death in the 1970s. He died while playing tennis.
Oh.
So he is in his tennis whites, but it's 1970s tennis whites, which means it's the super
Super
short shorts
itty
and the
bitty.
tube socks. And he has been seen walking around the offices of the folklore
Oh,
department
that's a great
in
story.
this outfit and just outside and all that stuff. And he is seen allegedly to this day by random faculty and now students who had never met him because he died before they were even born. And they'll be like, "Why is this? Who is this dude outside with the tennis shoes and the shorts and everything?" And it's Richard Dorson. And for a really long time, the street lamp that was right outside the department front door never turned off.
Hmm.
And when it was
Oh.
inspected, it was discovered to technically not have any electrical feed to it.
Oh,
Oh.
really?
Yeah, so it was a big old puzzle for the city of Bloomington as to why the street lamp was still on and never turned off. According to one of my friends that was still at the university 10 years ago, when the town redid the street, they redid the street lights, made new ones, installed new ones, and now the street lamps do turn off. So
Wow.
unfortunately, that happened. But getting back to the Indiana Memorial Union, when I was a student there, um, I was I had walked. So when you walk into the hotel area of the Biddle Hotel, and it is one of those. It's actually run by our hospitality sciences uh, department,
Mhm.
and it has a you walk in it, it's like you have just walked into another castle or an English manor house. It's like dark walnut
Wow.
paneling everywhere, and then it has this beautiful staircase that goes up to the second floor. And if you want to get to where a lot of the student area greeting rooms are, you have to go up the second floor, and sometimes I would take the staircase as a shortcut even though I'd have to go through tourists. And I was walking up, and for some reason, I get to the top of the stairwell, and it's something like 9 p.m. I'm actually on my way to a D&D club meeting that was held in one of the rooms in the Biddle Hotel. And I turn around, and there is what he looked a lot like um oh gosh, the director that did The Birds. I'm
Oh, Alfred Hitchcock.
He looked like Alfred Hitchcock. Where Hitchcock? What's Hitchcock?
That's his
No.
brother.
Oh, it's cousin from Kentucky. Yeah, he looked like Alfred Hitchcock, where he was kind of a moderately tall man, but had a very large stomach, and then was wearing a three-piece tweed suit. But it wasn't exactly because he had a nice set of a second chin, basically, and a very gourd shaped head. And I
Oh,
remember
wow.
looking at him and going, "Who is this guy? Where did he come from?" He was not on the staircase when I was walking up it just a second ago. And then he just faded away.
Oh, wow.
And it turned out it was who I believe the ghost of Herman B. Wells, who was one of the past presidents of the university back in the 1950s and 60s. Our main library is named after him now, and he just was hanging out apparently in the Indiana Memorial Union. Just I guess he wanted to play D&D. I why not?
Good enough
But
excuse to me. I mean, I
yeah,
don't know.
but the area around the IMU or the Indiana Memorial Union is very haunted. It has a cemetery literally right outside. If you are in some of the Biddle Hotel rooms that face to the east, you look right over the cemetery, which is supposed to have a hellhound patrolling it, as well as a
Oh.
grim reaper who has been
Whoa.
seen walking through not only the cemetery but around the building.
Well, that's creepy.
Yeah.
That is creepy.
Why do you
And
think there's so much activity there?
the this is the university's second location. The first one burnt down.
Mm-hmm.
And you just have a lot of activity. The area where Bloomington is has seen a lot of just human activity and settlements there for eons.
Yeah.
And Brown County, which is right next door, is also super haunted. It's it's right. I think it is. I can't remember which county. It's either Morgan or Monroe counties, and it's just people have lived there for eons, and
Yeah.
that kind of energy just has been there for a while.
Yeah.
Also, there's a lot of stress because it's a university.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
People
for
are
sure.
worried. Yeah,
It's gorgeous down there, though. I like it down there.
yeah, it is. But a lot of the buildings, the old original set are gorgeous because they're very gothic.
Yeah, I'd love to sketch there one day. It looks
Oh
really
yeah, good sketching places. My mom did a lot of the sketches for the buildings in the
Oh,
haunted treasure
nice.
halls, and it was her last big art gig she ever did.
Aw.
And she had a
Aw.
lot of fun doing that because there is so much personality in the older buildings.
Oh, there
Um,
definitely is.
yeah, she had a lot of fun. She sketched a gargoyle that has IU carved onto it. On one of the buildings, it has a lot of gargoyles on it, but one of them is Donald Duck wearing a graduation cap. So we had fun with it. We had
Yeah.
fun. Like our anthropology department is in one of the original two buildings and is said to be haunted by a gorilla in the basement where our skeletal remains are all kept. So
Aw.
that was fun.
Interesting.
We have it was one of the first medical schools in Indiana. So the opposite old building is where the medical school was, and the dumbwaiter is said to be haunted by all the basically parts removed from cadavers.
Ugh.
Because
Ugh.
that they would lose them as they put cadavers into this basically a bellhop.
Ugh.
Sometimes you would take somebody up and you didn't shove them completely on, so arms or legs would fall off, and then they would fall into the bottom, and no one would retrieve it. So,
Oh, that had a
Wow.
smell.
I
And were
mean-
these ill-gotten cadavers?
most likely, given it was the 1800s, but and we've done, I think, a lot of
Uh-huh.
episodes about the trade
Mhm.
thanks to Cincinnati. I bet you a lot of those cadavers came from Cincinnati.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Well, no wonder why it's haunted.
Well, one thing with these paintings is I wonder if, and this is what we're going to talk about before you talked about it, are they really haunted, or do people just imbue them with those
Mhm.
abilities?
Yeah, and it's not uncommon in belief systems around the world that you're able to imbue crafts with different things as you're making them. It's pretty common, actually, that
Mhm.
you would kind of enchant things essentially by making them.
Mhm.
And these paintings, all of them are going to take hours, if not years in some cases, to finish. They're
Yeah.
not small. I mean,
Mm-mm.
the one that is called Halloween, which is the one with Jacob, is actually a surprisingly small photo or painting. It's only about 11 by 17.
Yeah.
But some of these other ones are almost like small children could fit into the canvas. They're
Yeah.
Yeah.
4-6 feet tall, and like definitely the one of Henrietta Nielsen would have taken a good 6 months by a dedicated painter to get it done because it's
Gosh.
super detailed.
Oh,
They
for sure.
they painted every single wrinkle of the organza and the taffeta and the sheen and
Mhm.
all. Like I
Mhm.
could identify what kind of fabric it was because it's so well painted.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It is a
Wow.
pretty dress.
It is
Yeah,
a
it
pretty
is. It's
dress.
a great
I
painting.
want a big poofy dress.
I'm sure it
want
could be
one?
arranged.
I mean, yeah, we just take you to Colonial Williamsburg and bam.
Just don't
Yeah.
want to wear a corset. Those are uncomfortable.
Well,
Oh, they are.
I have good news for you. She would not have been wearing a corset
Okay.
in this. She would have been wearing a stay, which is an earlier version of a corset, but it's more like
More comfortable.
it's way more comfortable. It's basically like it's not it doesn't It can tie. It doesn't have the boning like a corset you
Mm-hmm.
would think a corset has. There's a little bit of structure, but mostly it's just to hold the cups in, and then
Mm-hmm.
it's just kind of a piece of fabric that goes around.
Huh. Kind of like
So
shapewear.
more like shapewear,
Yeah.
exactly. And so she would have been wearing that instead of a corset because this
Okay.
was done around 1780,
Oh
and
wow.
corsets didn't
Mm-hmm.
start rolling in until like the 1830s, I think.
Hmm.
So,
That's
Torture
really interesting.
devices.
Yeah.
well, when they're done correctly, they are not torture devices. But the way you see them on TV, they look like it because they never have shifts underneath. And this is when everyone discovers that Kat is a clothing historian nerd. So
Please explain. What are
a
shifts?
shift. So a
Mm-hmm.
shift is literally just a piece of clothing, is usually cotton, that would go over you, and you didn't have any underwear or anything else on, but you would put that on. That is what you would change every single day. It would catch all your sweat and all of that.
Uh-huh. Okay.
And then you would put on like a stay, or you would put on a corset. And that way you're not putting direct whale boning onto your bare body, making
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
you bleed or chafe or anything like that. And
Yeah.
also, yes, corsets existed, but they were mostly to lift up the girls and keep
Mm-hmm.
them from shifting uncomfortably.
Mm-hmm.
And they weren't tied to make this extreme hourglass that you see in some of the later Victorian illustrations,
Mm-hmm.
not on purpose. They should never have been done like that. You're not
Yeah.
supposed to tie it till you're like the waist of an orange.
Yeah.
Those were the great thing with illustrations, is that you can exaggerate things, and
Exactly.
that's what happened. So, really, a good corset is really good for your back, and
Mm-hmm.
it's good for your posture and all that.
Yeah.
Does it have a slimming effect? Yes. Could you have tied it too tight? Yes. But then you would have women fainting. And that's
Yeah.
when you have like this stereotype of women fainting. It's because they're not getting enough oxygen because their corsets are too tight.
I put
So
one on once, and Christine helped me do it, and she tied it, and I'm like, "Get it off me! Get it off me! Get it off
Yeah,
me!
yeah,
they're
Get it off
so
me!"
uncomfortable.
It felt very claustrophobic.
it can, if, and there's different types of corsets as well.
Yeah.
But um yeah, that's Cat's soapbox about corsets and stays and underwear of bygone eras. So
So you
That could
saw
be a whole episode.
the movie Emma, right? The most recent one.
yeah.
Um, the way they have her done up, they show like a dressing scene. Is that
Hmm.
similar to what?
I have to rewatch it, but I
Okay.
think it's pretty similar because I remember seeing the shift underneath everything.
Yeah, it was like a big long. It was like a nightgown.
Yeah,
It
it
looked
looks like
like
a
a
nightgown.
nightgown.
It's just
Okay.
cotton, and that's what
Okay.
would get washed every day, like I said. And then you would, I think they put the shift, the stay over that, and it
Mhm.
looks like essentially like a Madonna, like a little brace. It only goes
Mm-hmm.
around your rib cage. It doesn't go all the way down your waist.
Gotcha.
And that was essentially just a structured bra.
Mm-hmm.
But when I say structured, it wasn't like with the bands and stuff that we have underneath now. It was more like a loosey, like straps that were just
Mm-hmm.
thicker cotton around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so just to keep things from going in awkward directions if you
Yeah.
have boobs.
Yeah.
And but like another good scene actually was Anna Taylor-Joy. She turns around at some point and just you see her derriere and
Yes, and
she's
she's
not wearing anything.
warming her
Yeah, and I
in
was
front
like,
of the
that's super
fireplace.
accurate. That's what
Yeah.
happened. That's also how people would catch on fire,
Yeah.
but we have
A
ghost stories
small
for that
detail.
too. But but it was an accurate scene, and I
Mhm.
in a weird historian way, I'm like, I'm glad they included that because Bridgerton, absolutely
No, of course not. Yeah.
garbage. No,
Yeah.
like that's
Well,
fantasy. We know it's fantasy
yeah.
walking into it.
Yeah.
Like
Well, in Emma, I particularly like the scene that Johnny Flynn is being dressed
yes, I appreciate
nightly.
both.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yes,
No, I love that movie. It's
Mhm.
it's fun.
it's a good movie. It's
Yeah.
well. Apparently, we've become a movie podcast, a historical movie podcast.
We have
Really.
been talking a lot.
Yeah. It's all right. It's fun. It's been handy when you do see, ironically, knowing about fashion history and how trends changed.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
When people tell me they see ghosts, I ask, well, what were they wearing?
Mhm.
Because really, that's an easy way of pinning down at least a set of years where this could have happened.
Mhm.
Because if
Yes.
somebody tells me, "Oh, I saw a woman in what they call a Victorian gown." So I'm looking at you, Story, and you have a ghost with a Victorian gown. And I'm like, well, was there a bustle? Was it a hoop skirt? Can you tell me more about what it looked like? And if they tell me, oh, it was a bustle, and she had like this tight little waistcoat thing, and it was a bustle, and we see her shimmy out, I'm like, oh, that tells me that this happened in the 1890s because wearing those bustles were popular in the 1890s versus the 1850s when everyone was wearing the hoop skirts and had like the
Yeah.
really big sleeves, like the bell sleeves,
Mm-hmm.
versus the mutton chop sleeves of the 1890s and early Edwardian or early 1900s, which are those huge triangles. Like, what is it? Scarlet Peak, the one with that Del Toro did.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh,
What is
What
that?
was that
Crimson
one
Scarlet
called?
Peak.
Yeah,
Crimson Peak. There we go.
Yeah.
yeah, that was a good
Scarlet,
movie.
crimson, they're both colors
Yeah.
of red. And
The
either,
fashion that was cool. That was cool movie.
but that
for
was
fashion.
going to be late 1800s, early 1900s fashion is vastly different than
Mhm.
fashion that you see of the mid 1800s.
Mhm.
So it helps, and even with like men's clothing where it changes too, like what colors are popular, what style, how their ties are
Yeah.
done, their cravats, their pants, their shoes, all that stuff. And so people are look at me like I wasn't paying that well of attention, and I'm like, okay. But like being out in Gettysburg or Antietam, I've noticed ghosts wearing different types of piping
Mhm.
on their uniforms, and the different piping stood for
Mhm.
different military units. That is really cute. The um so all of those little details matter, especially when you're taking eyewitness testimony, essentially,
Mhm.
of ghosts.
Mhm.
So
That's
that is really
interesting.
cute.
He's trying to figure out how to jump on the back of the chair.
Ah,
That's why he was staring at me like that.
I
Oh,
wonder if he will someday.
He climbs up there, and
But he
sometimes
hasn't jumped.
he hangs out up there and just sits.
Mhm.
And most of the time, it's a ploy to get onto my desk.
Ah, okay.
Listeners,
That's
my cat
cats.
was staring at me intently from behind me,
It was
like
very
he
cute.
wants to eat me.
No, it was like a
Mhm. No, they
little
do.
cute stalker. Anyway, thank you for coming to my TED Talk about
No, this is
haunting
Well,
really
and
that's
good.
costuming.
interesting.
I didn't expect to go there with paintings, but here we are.
I think this is a great topic, and I like I said, I think a lot of this stuff is like people, especially if the eyes look at you, and like this picture with the jack-o'-lantern is extremely creepy. So,
It
I
is a
mean,
very dark painting. Like,
yeah,
not dark as in subject matter, it's just very that you used a lot of
chiaroscuro.
Well, he
yeah,
was just trying to get the lining of the jack-o'-lantern on the kitten.
Yeah,
That's it.
yeah, but
But you don't see very many paintings like that.
no,
no,
not at all.
no, and that's a lot of dark browns and
Mhm.
blacks and dark blues, and then boom, that kid's face.
Yeah.
So I could see why that would freak people out in the middle of the night when you're
Mhm.
closing up.
Maybe he just really liked Halloween.
Maybe.
I mean,
I
I really
one
like Halloween.
one of the great comments I saw on a different article about um Jacob and the Halloween painting was the only trapped souls in the Tudor room are that of the catering staff.
That's a
I
good
was
one.
like, yeah, bingo. There we go. But yeah, I know there is a way of painting eyes to make them look like they're following you around. It's by
Mhm.
making essentially the eyes look concave.
Yeah,
Oh, uh-huh.
They do this in the Haunted Mansion at Disney World and Disneyland. Yet again, another Haunted Mansion reference.
Mhm.
Um, and I don't know if they meant to do that for the portrait of Bernardo del Galvez, but apparently it is super creepy.
Yeah, there were a couple on them in the Google search that, yeah, they move.
Yeah. And it is a painting technique, but it's kind of like the bust of CC Brong that is in Spring Grove Cemetery. The way the eyes look like they follow you around is a similar trick.
Oh yeah.
But they did it so realistically, people legitimately thought they're real eyes put into the bust,
Mm-hmm.
ignoring that those would have totally decomped and just become goo balls if that had happened.
Wow.
But
Ugh.
sorry, I grossed everyone out again. This is the second episode in a row.
I know. I think we're gonna have to get used to it now.
Yeah.
Well, on that note,
Yeah.
we are at an
Oh.
hour almost.
Yeah, we are. So thank you everyone for listening with us for this fun episode about haunted paintings. If you
No,
like
this is
more,
so cool.
yeah, if you would like more haunted painting talk, we will do more. You can always email us at hometownhauntedmail@gmail.com,
Yes.
or you can message us and follow us on our Instagram handle, which is hometownhaunts_underscore podcast, or on Blue Sky at hometownhaunts.bsky.social. And we're also always looking for more guests. If you know people that are in the creative world that have a ghost story, please suggest them for contacting us.
Oh yes, definitely.
Yes. But I'm Kat.
I'm Christina.
And I'm Jen.
And thank you for joining us tonight. Everyone, stay safe, stay healthy, and stay spooky.
Bye.
Bye-bye.